Rise from your grave. Okay, remember when I said the wolf tap wasn't going anywhere? Well, the more I thought about it, the more... Alright, here it is. Vexpir and Dracus. Vexpir only shows up with, I guess he doesn't have a mic anymore. Dracus is off with like a job, so he doesn't, so he said it would be like the last time he would be coming in for that, and I think me and him have like the greatest back and forth. Like, so as soon as he got the job and was like, yeah, I won't be showing up to these anymore, I'm like, didn't think there was a reason to keep it going, because if it's just me and Maryland, I don't want to be that guy, but Maryland would sometimes step on my, what I'm trying to say and try to move it along so we can say his piece and leave before SmackDown, which he's probably not going to be able to do once SmackDown moves over to Tuesdays. So, the way I looked at it, I was like, you know, I kind of want to go back to doing it solo. We had 30 of them. Probably more, because again, we were the Suplex City Podcast before we realized, oh yeah, that's what you call it, because we're trash. So, before I begin the newly crowned Suplexing4Rinoa podcast, the Suplex, like Suplex Solo or something like that, I don't know. Again, this is my first episode. Again, I'm having to work by myself, but it means I can throw in dumb shit again and do like pictures and stuff like that again, like I used to do on the One Player podcast. So, with that, let's get into it. Raw begins with here comes the opening segment. Oh, and Steph too. Shane and Steph showing some cracks in the relationship for once. They announced that July 19th is when SmackDown goes live on Tuesday nights. So this will become a lot easier to do. Hey, you know, Monday, Tuesday, and then NXT on Wednesdays. Hopefully that's not moving anywhere weird. So I'm gonna be like, oh, okay. Because right now I'm kind of doing this like I already saw like Raw SmackDowns on Thursdays. You know, they're gonna dominate Tuesday nights. Get fucked, TNA. She throws a fucking baby at Jeff Hardy. Oh no, not Jeff. Brother Nero. Oh. I don't know why I keep going to hedonism bot when I do creepy Matt Hardy. It's like, oh, put those grapes upon my body. Oh, Brother Nero. See, I couldn't take the time to do stupid shit like this because Maryland would kind of rush me along. I don't have time to stop and enjoy my own stupidity. And hopefully someone else will too, you know, the viewers. So, if you do, so much the better. New Day out there excited at first, but also paranoid about what, you know, logically should happen at this point with all the influx of your newer stars. So they're bringing back another brand extension. Yeah. I was on the fence on the first one, but it turned out to be some of the best and exciting TV when they got the F out and started doing WWE stuff, so. They claim on Kofi because he's been here a long time, you know, that's why they call him Pops. They want to know from the McMahons themselves where the New Day is going to end up. Steph playing, you know, she's dodging the question, like, oh, what you doing? You playing dodgeball with the question. Dodge, 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 dodge! Their concern is breaking them up, and Shane says, you know, anything's possible. Steph says, nothing's set in stone. They also haven't even figured out who's going to run SmackDown. A New Day literally stirring the soup for that sibling rivalry. And they want a dancing challenge with the McMahons this somehow leads to, huh? This just proves that even the New Day can't save bad filler. It's not their fault. It's just, it is what it is, you know. Vaudevillains save us from this, however, in lieu of their tag title rematch. Mostly the Vaudevillains at the start of this, and when the New Day rallies, out comes Gallows and Andersons to destroy everybody. Kofi and Woods on the outside as the match gets tossed out, gotcha in English, boot on Big E, and then they just like say, hey, here you go, for Big E to get magic killed. They say, AJ has his way of doing things, we got ours. You know, it's putting the tag team division on notice. We have arrived and we're just getting started. Meanwhile, the Big Show is back and he informs Apollo Crews, new era, old era, Attitude Era. I've been knocking people down since the Jurassic Era, but I didn't come to fight, I like you, Apollo. You got potential. Sheamus, meanwhile, is running drastically trying to put the new era underfoot. He's trying to keep the status quo. He's threatened. He attacked you because he thinks you'll back down. Question is, will you? Do they come on the ticker germs? Thank you, Vexpir. Kane's coming back via the new World of Warcraft movie? Huh? I feel like I'd be questioning myself a lot. What the fuck is going on here? I'm kicking around the podcast title, Monday Night Stall, because that's what this was, clearly. Golden Truth on commentary? Oh, this can only end in insanity, too. Holy shit, this motherfucking remix of Breezango. Wow. Gary Stridham. Wow. Seriously, though, it's ooh. Damn, it's hot. Their streak ends, sadly, at 2-0, courtesy of the Usos, because the Usos have to look, Roman's got to look strong, and by extension, the Usos have that kind of, because they're family. They blame the Golden Truth for their loss, and they throw down. Breeze gets power slammed by Goldust onto the floor with reckless abandon. Shit. Statement made, feud, of course, not complete yet. Roman Reigns is back. And now that I'm doing these solo, I get to bring this back too. This segment also happened to make me. He reminds us that Seth sold out and became the man. How can you call yourself the man when you keep running from the guy? Hey, Stinko Man. Everyone says you're the guy. I want to be the guy too. No way, you're just a kid. Maybe when you're older. Who's Pan in that? Dean Ambrose? Little Tick Panda! He calls Seth out, now he comes to pad the show, proving the two words, I hope and pray to hear among probably the rest of you, that when this brand extension finalizes, so too will Raw scroll back to 2 hours long. Equal brands, equal time periods. All I'm saying. So I'm fingers crossed. Now I took maybe half a minute to explain, Seth comes out and then runs off, and then he comes out to fight him, and then he runs away. This took probably 5 to 6 minutes to play out. Roman talking, calling Seth out, Seth teasing, talking for a bit. He's got the microphone in his hand. He's like, and then no, no. And then teasing going after him, and then nothing. And then teasing going after him, and then nothing. And then he walks back, and then teasing going after him for a while, and then nothing. Goldberg return? No, it's for the new 2K17. I always get confused with these, but then again, Goldberg's not coming back. I don't think. I've been following a really good channel because it does the best and worst of Monday Nitro. It's uproxx.com, uproxx.com. Really good shit on that. And they pointed out that like you see in the mirror when they pull Goldust away, the cops arrest him or something like that. I don't know. Probably for ending Bret Hart's career. Yeah. An arrestable offense if ever there were one. So I was like, oh, we got you now. It's the Mountie shows up. I would have loved to see that play, actually. It's kick one of our heroes and end his career, will ya? He'll be going 20 years for this one. Yeah, you're making your comeback to wrestling? No! Not on my watch, mister. Not a jobber entrance, they are really padding out Raw. And not even in ecto-cooler tights will they give Ryder an upset. Rusev Machka. You think you silly Americans are entitled to everything even though you lost everything. I'm a better American than all of you. Millions of dollars. Titus says you call yourself a great American today? Great Americans fight! Rusev did just fight. He beat Zack Ryder. You don't have a TV back there to stand in front of to watch? Yeah. Titus calls him a Bulgarian blowhard and sucker punches him. At Cupid 5-star says Titus has not learned his touching people that don't want to be touched lesson. By the way, I really hope we get a subplot for Lana, because she does her thing where she always announces Rusev, but she's losing her accent for most of Rusev's introduction. We got 70% CJ Perry on that one. And I think I'm being nice with the 70%. Shining Stars still welcoming people to Puerto Rico. I want to welcome them to WWE Raw so we can continue to do our best Joey Styles impression at the Total Elimination! I'm sorry, I as soon as I saw it, I marked out, and I'm I seen that move before! Thank you, OSW Reviews. One night, just do it. Just one night. He's in the back. He's where'd that come from? You hear in the background, what was that noise? Earlier today, Steph is embarrassed by Charlotte, and she goes off on her, saying she was a waste of talent. Wow, they're way to bury that heel turn, I guess. Enzo and Cass, Dudleys, you bubblegum boys want to get a little extra? We're gonna go upside your noodle with the whole kit and caboodle, curled up in the ring like a kind of sky cheese doodle. See, I get to do dumb shit like this and bring, wouldn't have had time to do it in the other way. It just would have been one still picture, and that was all right for a while. You guys could be they're just talking, I'll do something else, which is kind of what you can do for podcasts. I'll listen to the podcast while I'm doing something else. I'm yeah, fine. I'm down with that. But now I get to do dumb shit like change shit around. So I'm glad I'm coming back to do that, even though the name might change. We'll see what happens in another 30 Suplexing4Rinoas or whatever I call this. That's probably what I'm going to call it. I haven't had a reason to call it anything before. But anyway, Cass just gets to name a bunch of cheeses in order, because they're in Wisconsin. It's okay, I got cheeses. And no mention of Al Snow and Steve Blackman. I call that blasphemy. No shout out to Mrs. Daniel Bryan either for a lesser, more relevant extent. But seriously, Cass was clowning these Dudleys solo, and now that Enzo is back, this goes longer than a fucking minute. Seriously? I was padding. I mean, the Dudleys almost get the 3 on Big Cass, but Bubba gets heaved off the top rope via Enzo's distraction. Big boot to attack Devon. Tandem finish, they win. Sammy, Cesaro, and Ambrose on the same page, warning each other about their opponents later tonight. Sammy says something along the lines of, it's Ambrose, I'm sorry. He's those damn Canadians, fucking Owens, fucking Jericho, those damn Canadians. And Sammy's dude, I'm right here. And Ambrose is well, do it after you, I guess. I don't know. I didn't write it. I forgot I wrote it down because I only say it now because it came up on SmackDown, which I'll get to. A very real John Cena. Talking about Memorial Day, with the utmost respect he honors those who keeps our liberty intact. He asks if he still belongs here, new era, old era. The only era that's happening is those judging me and think I'm just going to roll over and leave, The face that runs the place says the future must go through me. So we're seeing the transitioning of John Cena being hey, I'm the underdog and I'm the scrappy guy and I gotta fight off everything. Now he's the standard bearer. He's the measuring stick. He's become he's pretty much the guy as well, or the man, or whatever you want to call him. Big match John, And I was really hoping this would come back to I guess because he's dealing with Titus O'Neil, I thought that was leading towards a U.S. title thing. But instead, WWE versus TNA in a different world, but the crowd just takes over this one, over the dueling chants of Let's Go Cena and AJ Styles. Hey, the crowd gets credit for padding this Raw out as well. Good job. Golf clap. AJ's been waiting for this and doesn't understand the bad rep John has. I've seen what you've done in this ring. I respect you and your hard work. I just wanted to come out and be one of the first to say welcome back. And now Anderson Gallows come out to stir the soup, He's you're sucking up to Cena. We thought that was beneath you, Unlike you, We're not out here to kiss ass, but to kick it. Yours included. It looks like they're about to throw down, and then heel turn. The club is back together, and they're beating on John Cena. AJ just not letting up on him either. Like they pull him off. He comes back, starts beating on him, pull him off. More padding, but at least this looks good. This makes AJ being like, holy shit, he's just beating on Cena. Like, what's the deal? He's yelling like afterwards, after the referee or EMTs or whatever, like finally pull him off on him, and about like the third or fourth time he runs on him, he's like, I'm doing the world a favor. You're welcome. He did it because of his Ellen jorts. She's part of
the gay community.
Jumper entrance for Natty. She takes on Dana Brooke with Charlotte in tow. The numbers game once again, until Becky Lynch runs out to run off the heels. Apparently, Dolph Ziggler has over, like they say, Dean Malenko over 1,001 holds. Chris Jericho 1,002. I got 1,005. Really? That may be true, but I foresee his code getting broken in the future if Corbin doesn't break it first in this technical wrestling match that ends up, Ziggler actually getting in the spirit of things with like a headgear and a mouthpiece, and he kicks Corbin in the stones. I'm like, when he did it, it was in the confines of actual DQ match, so what does this prove? That you can't win a technical wrestling match? You gotta kick somebody in the stones? Like, you're DQ, obviously. He's on the mic saying, Ziggler has been disqualified and the loser is still Baron Corbin. Disqualifications do not work that way! But so much for hour 3 not being dog shit. This turned into like a Bizarro Raw from the past few weeks. Usually it's the first 2 hours that go amazing and then third, like, peters out. Like, this one picks up. Maurice introduces The Miz. Oh my god, there's actually a Marine fucking 5. I thought you people were joking. Like, I thought, like, I get, like, Dracus talking about Marine 5 and all that shit. Like, him and the Outcast. I thought he was joking with that. Now I'm like, now I want that to happen. Oh yeah, I did see, like, speaking of movies, I did see the clip finally, thanks to Uprocks, they showed me the clip of, like, it's chasing after a guy who shot 2 suspects, Rusev getting changed, or something like that. He's just standing out there, he sees Dolph Ziggler coming at him with a gun, and of course his natural instinct is just body check him into the wall and take the gun. He's like, show me your badge. It's like, wait, he's like, I'll show you my badge. Boom! Super kick, grabs the gun, starts running off, and Lana's like, there goes a real man. Now, see, that was already a way better telling, I guess, like an abridged thing of, like, the whole fucking feud that went on there for, like, felt like probably a month, but it felt more like 2-3 months with how long and unnecessary it was. Reality set in and it was like, oh, good, you married her to end this fucking stupid bullshit, so. Jericho being soured about his fellow Canadian Owens and hating Del Rio's family for 25 years. I thought you two didn't know each other. Well, it's Jericho. He's world class. He knows everybody. Del Rio says he actually won Money in the Bank, and Jericho says, I invented it. Yeah, it came from the nectar of the gift of Jericho. Drink it in, man. They basically argue who should lead the group, and that match is next. They took away slot 7 from the looks of things for the Money in the Bank ladder match. There's supposed to be like 7 of them, so I guess it will just be the 6 people in the ring. Ambrose, Del Rio, Owens, Jericho, Zayn. Fuck, I already forgot who Cesaro. Ambrose taking out everybody at the near end of this one. Del Rio has to save the match before he gets pitched out. Blocks a code breaker and oops the second attempt off the wacky line, and Owen blind tags for a near fall, and the two argue back and forth, having Cesaro sneak in and swing Jericho around. Backstabber to Cesaro, Halua to Del Rio, about to powerbomb Zayn, who leapfrogs and gets dirty boots. The Faces win. Didn't understand what they were chanting earlier. Like, someone on Twitter said the chant was, stupid idiot. As Jericho was, like, pummeling somebody and, doing his thing. Like, you stupid man. That's a new one to me, and that's Raw. NXT opens with the Revival vowing to become the two-time NXT champions, and that American Alpha are, good little amateurs. They're good, but good is just it. But this is the big time. They get interrupted by Ciampa and Gargano, saying, everyone knows American Alpha has your number, you can't beat them, and from where we see it, you can't beat us either. Ciampa does all the talking. Gargano's just like, hey, I'm Johnny Wrestling. Hi. That's what I imagine. It's like, yeah, Johnny Wrestling. He's going to do stuff. Yeah, I'm Johnny Wrestling. Hey, what's up? I'm Joey Ryan. Hey, what's up? I'm an undercover cop on Lucha Underground. I see that too on Uprise. Like, holy shit, he's a private dick. Because, he's got the porn stash and the whole thing. I'm like, that's beautiful. That's about the best thing you fucking do on Lucha Underground. I don't know what the fuck's going on in that show, but just that image of Joey Ryan as a private investigator is the best thing. Oh my god, that is great. Just so they can make that joke, because I'm just saying what everyone else is thinking with that one. Like, okay, that's why. Like, put two and two together. The perp is probably wrestling in Dario Cueto's temple. Ace Detective! Ciampa, yes, like I said, he's basically doing most of the talking for this, running him down, Dash refers to them as, like, good little hands, and Ciampa's like, you talking to us or referring to yourselves? Dawson's like, how about you win something for mouthing off to us? And they leave saying, we're leaving now. Top guy's coming through, step aside, Ciampa stirring the soup saying, you guys taking off, pretty quick for top guys. Revival come in and get dual drop kicked out. Oh. Nakamura interview about Austin Aries saying he'll bow down to the king of strong style. Murphy gets his first name back because he's going solo, Buddy. His theme music still has it's still the same like Blake and Murphy and Alexa thing, and it still has their names on the Tron. I guess, when you're developmental, you don't really care. Then again, it's like Murphy, it's like, on solo, I'm like, it made me think as soon as I saw that, I'm like, yeah, he's not winning this, is he? And sure enough, Ty Dillinger takes the win. Corey Graves sit-down interview with Joe and Balor. Yeah, I said it right. Corey asks Balor how he felt with Joe standing above you as the new champion. Like, this is a very good, like, sit down back and forth. Like, a lot of questions got asked. It felt almost like the, like, it was even longer than usually, like, you get, like, couple questions in, like, the pre-show for pay-per-views. Like, they bring one person in and you get, like, the Twitter questions. So this was just, like, Corey Graves, like, asking the, how'd you feel with Joe standing above you as the new champion in Lowell? And he's like, tough question to answer. I felt like my whole world came tumbling down. 290 days I defended that title. One time in Lowell, Mass, I was beaten. Joe says, for all his talk about being a fighting champion, he and the people running NXT made me jump through hoops. I got what I felt belonged to me. I backed you up when you asked for a partner in the Dusty Classic, but you go and let Regal just, change up the ring, and you're like, oh, Maybe you felt you couldn't beat me, and that's why you didn't give me my shot that I earned. I'm like, oh, this is good. Balor lists all the places he's been. He says, I think I'm scared of you or a cage. Corey brings up that Balor said that, twice now, you didn't just beat Joe, you survived. And Balor's like, I survived but one. People want to say it was luck. You want to say I'm at a disadvantage in the cage, perhaps. But I've been disadvantaged before. I was in that ladder match with Owens. Joe talks about their match in Dallas. I was bleeding in that match, but I was still kicking your shit in. And all of a sudden, the medical staff wants to separate me, pull me off of beating you, and so it's like, all the fuck of a sudden, Corey asks if Balor realizes the risk involved with this match with this kind of opponent. Balor's like, you people speak of the future, but this is the present. Am I doing Sheamus or Balor? I don't know. That title is the most important thing in the world to me, right now. Not wait until next week, month, year. Joe says, this is an opportunity to finally put you in your place. Aries has a huge match next week, so he gets a tune-up with the Drifter tap, making him tap to the Last Chancery? I looked it up, and that is actually what it's called. It's like a, I don't know if it's like, it feels like a crossface, but he's like on his back, so he like wrenches it back a little bit more. Like Aries is on his back, so he like wrenches it from behind, so I guess he gets like more torque on it. It looks like a good move he can like put people away with, so, and he's been using it for a while, like even like a thing on TNA, he's like, oh, Mike Tenay is like, oh, he hit it the Last Chancery, and then he goes on to say, I've said it, I've proven it, time and time again in this ring, take over, I remove any doubt I'm the greatest in this ring, and I will shine that spotlight where it belongs. Austin Aries. Tag match up next. Ciampa gets his knee worked over extensively by the Revival, but the hot tag to J-Dub, as I call him. Johnny Wrestling, J-Dub. Dawson with a top rope superplex that Gargano rolls through and gets the 3. Post-match beatdown ends with Ciampa just eating the shatter machine. They're fixing to do to Ciampa what they did to Big Cass months ago and break his leg. And then American Alpha stormed the ring. Suplex in stereo! Contract signing between Asuka and Nia Jax. Nia is not one for Regal's commentary, saying, "Everyone's scared of you because you kicked some girls' heads in. You beat Bayley. I broke Bayley. Just like I'm gonna break you. You call yourself the Empress of Tomorrow, but I'm the future." Asuka's follow-up is, "You talk too much," and some other stuff. And she goes to kick Nia and gets dropped right on her head. And all the contract signing in between, but yeah. Just want to talk about the action. And that's NXT. Sorry if you can hear birds chirping outside. Surrounded by fucking trees. I know it's the Garden State, but it's not a fucking Wildlife Federal Reserve. Could have just stuck me in the city. I could have stayed inside there too. I didn't have to go out. I'm a shut in now. Enough lamenting. Let's get to SmackDown. Kicks off with the New Day talking about the club, and they crash the party. You may have those titles around your waist, but on Raw, when we finished with you, you didn't look like the tag team champions. Sooner than later, those belts join the club. New Day says, how do you join? Clubhouse meetings? Are you for car theft protection? Hey, they brought it out because some people were like the club, and then they, of course, the internet brought back the car theft device. You put it on your steering wheel, and then no one can jack your car. I don't know. I was too young to have cars back then to drive one, and I fucked up my driving test, and I haven't been in a car since, so I don't know if someone couldn't just take the key, but I guess if you couldn't pull the wheel or something that you could drive it. I don't get it. If anyone knows what exactly, it was just some weird 90s device. It was up there with the ch-ch-ch-chia. Clubhouse meetings, you car theft protection. You're definitely not the hairy club for men. And when the club say, they're coming to get their dues, no, they ask, come to the ring and try to collect. And I'm like, no, I guess they don't want none. They don't want none. They don't want. And, once again, it brings out who they poke fun at. It was the club, and now AJ comes out. He's still doing the, they don't want none. So I guess he's still got his own music. It's vaguely heelish. I don't know. It's doesn't strike me at first like a heel theme should. Unless he's, AJ is my Jew, he's born again Christian or something like that. There's a way to heal that up, forcing your beliefs down other people's stuff. They wouldn't do that. I think it's just going to be like the club and just putting people down. That would have been actually, and I don't know if he would have been okay with that. I don't know. Could have been interesting, though. Might have smacked too much of McMahonism, and AJ was like, yeah, no. Don't make fun of my Jesus. Shawn Michaels. Dream match. I think of dream matches all the time, and I think, oh, man, what if only. AJ out saying, you want to talk about the club? So is everyone else after what we did to Cena. And this isn't a new day. It's our day. And the WWE belongs to the club. Okay, so they're already starting with, the we're taking over kind of mentality going together. Now that they're on the same page. As for you, Kofi, you've been joking around 10 years. And why? Because you are one. Kofi lists off his title accomplishments and says, it took you 10 years to get here. AJ says, bring your boys, I'll bring mine, and we'll deliver another message to you tonight. Holy shit, main event Kofi Kingston against AJ Styles. Becky gets her hands on Charlotte, mostly for the disarmor, and Charlotte channels Roman Reigns and sit-out powerbombs herself out of it. Near fall. Match gets thrown out as Dana interferes and tries to pull Charlotte out of the ring while she's taking the second disarmor. And Natty comes in through the entrance ramp to cut off their escape and get some retribution. Interview with Zayn and Ambrose as they focus on being cohesive against Del Rio and Owens. Zayn says, we've had success teaming together despite Ambrose's comments on Monday about Canadians. Ambrose is like, it's Owens and Jericho and they're obnoxious. So is that patrol guy. And Zayn's like, you don't bring nunchucks with you through customs like that. It's like, it was a souvenir or something like that. They would like to actually see that play out. give Ambrose his own like reality show. I don't know if he'd go for it. He doesn't really. He seems like a very sheltered guy. He doesn't like the social media. That's why he doesn't have a Twitter. He's like, nah, that's understandable. It's not exactly super sociable, But again, I did that podcast for a while. I did it for a good couple months, and I want to thank everybody real quick. I forgot to thank everybody in particular. Maryland, I want to thank you for Discord because Discord's awesome. Vexpir, I want to thank you for the podcast pick that I use and most of the stuff we've gotten, especially that one. I already been like, Brother Nero. Getting a good pick of that. Thank you very much. Usually I have to find that shit myself. So I hope you continue with that, even though it's just me now. If not, I understand. Dracus, just for like being Dracus, again, we had a really, really good rapport back and forth. I think the two of us together have made up for the better podcast. Me and Vexpir too has been like pretty good. But me and Dracus, I think we pretty much nailed it. Luken, you've been around for a few, and I think you usually I don't see you that much. You had some things to say. I thought you brought your level things together. Again, I didn't really get much out of. Like, you were in for, like, a couple episodes, but you were pretty good. But, yeah, I understand you guys have, like, your own things to take care of, and I want you to do that. And I want to go back to doing that, especially in the heat, because right now I'm doing this, like, super early morning. I'm not waiting to 1:30 in the afternoon to do this, Now I can be like, okay, I can get this done. That's another reason on my laundry list of, like, stuff that I'm going to go back to doing this myself. But, in any case, thank all of you. Much thanks. Owen's stirring the soup in his own way, comes in trying to stay his zen. It's like, he's manipulating you, Ambrose. He's Canadian. They can't be trusted. They won't leave you alone, Ambrose. Yeah. They are the golden truth, and they have lyrics. Follow the bouncing dust. And again, I'm starting to mirror what Austin had to say, I think, on his podcast or in passing or something like that. Again, I'm getting a lot of this off uprocks.com. It's so amazing. But he says, like, the brand extension. And I'm thinking, like, wow. Cody might have actually benefited from this shit, Yeah, that's wrong place, wrong time, Rhodes. He's in Evolve now. Maybe he comes back through that system. He gets a chance to like start over. We'll see, because Evolve and WWE are like simpatico now. That's why Ciampa and Gargano, I think, because I checked Wikipedia. They're not listed as like NXT developmental staff. They're outsiders. They're like so I guess they're just working independently through like a couple of people. So, but anyway, they have lyrics. Yeah, they take on the Dudleys fresh from jobbing to Big Cass every chance they've had. Breezango looks on with the best seats in the house. They got the Breeze VIP Lounge and Fandango sitting there. Eating grapes, I guess, or whatever they do. Big boot from Big Banter Bubba as I don't know what happened, but like the bridge of his nose, he's like bleeding downward or something like that a little bit. Goldust has things on a roll, and Breezango get on the apron and selfie it up. Truth shoves them off, and Goldust goes as well, I guess, to inadvertently bump Truth off. Dudley's so used to being on the receiving end of that, they're used to like, fucking up the tag finish and hitting each other inadvertently. They take the advantage in the win. Breezango rubs it in after the match some more. It's, calls themselves gorgeous, delicious, gorgelicious. Everyone wants to be like me and try to throw it. I'm like, that's my gimmick. Taking one word and another and like combining the two to say something even dumber. Baron Corbin vowing to end Dolph Ziggler, but he ain't coming to the arena tonight. Yeah, he just says like his piece is like, I'm not going in there, but I will like end Dolph Ziggler. And I'm like, please. I'm like, you have all rights and privilege to just be like he hit me like basically like in so many words, he hit me below the belt. Ziggler's a fucking tool. Next time I see him, I'm gonna ruin him. I'm gonna end his career or something. I'm gonna end him. The end of days. Another miscommunication, speaking of which, has Owens prop up Ambrose to get into Geary, but the Dolph Ziggler just like the inside leg, like the jumping into Geary. But he catches Owens instead, Tag to Zayn, Halua kick to the back of Del Rio's head. Damn. Owens at post-match screaming he's sick of partners costing him matches. Check this shit out. Grabs a ladder to get the briefcase, and Cesaro, in full suit, gets the springboard uppercut on Owens and climbs it himself. And suddenly another dream match comes up. Tuxedo match. Cesaro, Ricardo Rodriguez. Meanwhile, Lana's accent. Lana's accent, yeah. Her accent is barely 5%. Like, she's just, it's just completely gone except for the Bulgarian brute, Rusev. He takes on Jack Swagger. To his credit, he still takes a beating and slaps a surprise ankle lock. I hope the brand split really favors this guy, because Swagger's so good in ring. I'd like to see him, start dominating dudes again, and, he'll put in, amazing matches, but he'll never win. And that's what I hope to see that. I hope to see him come back. That's why I'm so hype about the brand extension actually being a thing. I'm still pessimistic, they're gonna split the championships up again after they did all that stuff to just recombine them. I still don't know, but again, as far as superstars go, I'm all for it. Because you're gonna start to see some more people start to go over more and see less of matches get repeated and actually cover SmackDown, and maybe I know that's Monday, like I said, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I can get it out by Thursday, Friday, and then just Friday I can just relax and, go back to doing my own thing. Yeah. Because I've all been struggling with videos, trying to get LPs, trying to get shit done on time sometimes, and sometimes my work schedule gets a little crazy. Backlund back with a training update and Darren Young's car keys. Where the fuck did he get those? Did he, reach into, the weird separate dimension they're in? Because they're clearly, in two separate rooms at all times. I don't think they've even actually met before. It's at all. I'd like to see if that's, canon or not. A follow-up on that. So, he somehow gets Darren Young's car keys, saying, don't run. He's run. Don't run, walk. You need the power walk. You get more cardio out, I guess, because it takes longer. You get more exercise than if you run. Sounds like walking over running, but then he brings up it's gonna take 8 hours to get to your destination. Start walking in this heat. Ugh. 8 hours, God, that's a chafe and a half. You better be wearing boxers, or it's the friggin' lift by. Whew. But yeah, main event. So I'm thinking, which team's going to run in and have this battle thrown out first? But no, it doesn't go like that. Woods does try to distract with a trombone. I guess he plays his theme or something like that, or they don't want none. I didn't quite catch it. Causing Kofi to turn AJ inside out with an SOS. Holy shit, at least that's what they called it. It's been a while since I've seen it, so. Is that what that move is? I thought I'm thinking Trouble in Paradise with, the jumping Enzugiri, from behind. Just, I haven't seen the SOS in forever. And I thought it was the leg drop, and no, that's the boom drop. Maybe that's the SOS. I haven't seen it forever, so I might have forgotten what it was. The club strikes first, leading Big E to clean up, and Gallows takes him out. Kofi back in, gets Pele, and Styles clash for 3. So yay, the club go over so I'm okay, new number 1 contenders, obviously, while AJ goes off to fight John Cena and maybe do the thing he did with Owens, where it's the best of 3, where Cena 2-1, and eventually they have the AJ wins one, Cena wins the second, and then they have the rubber match. So really looking forward to the brand extension. I don't know what it means for title pictures. I don't know what it means for people coming in. Maybe they do the thing where it's because the first brand extension, it started out with everyone is eligible to be drafted except for the WWE champion and the women's champion. The WWE, the first WWE women's champion, Trish Stratus, I think at the time. I think at the time it was Triple H was the WWE champion, because this was after the WrestleMania where he beat Jericho, and then Trish Stratus was still the women's champion or somebody. I forget. But yeah, it was those two were ineligible. They can appear on both shows and defend their titles, I guess, whenever. So I guess we would have and they would do Raw presents this thing with all Raw. It was an all Raw pay-per-view or an all SmackDown pay-per-view. There would be sometimes you get infusions of from one brand to another. You know, you get like trades. You would get like a pay-per-view called Bragging Rights. They might bring that back. I don't know. They might get rid of something like Breaking Point or something like that. I guess you can probably get rid of something. But that's off the top of my head, like Breaking Point. Like, what? Roadblock I like. Roadblock can stay. But yeah, I'm just thinking like pay-per-views like you can get rid of. I'm like, maybe Battleground, because that has a history of sucking. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can get rid of that one and make that Bragging Rights again. Maybe that's what Battleground becomes. It's like Battleground and like Bragging Rights. You know what I mean? It's like, it can't be two things. And it's like,
I'm Vince McMahon. I can do whatever I want, at you.
But that's the podcast. I don't know what I'm going to call it. I guess Suplexing4Rinoa, for lack of a better thing I can think off the top of my head. It's very hot in here. That's again why I'm also doing this early before the heat really picks up and I gotta use the fan to talk into this. So, and hey, at least it'll be under an hour long. Take care. Thanks for listening.